Yeah.
So I was watching you, Louis. Okay, we were all sitting here kind of hanging out, and I was watching you sit there, and you were all having like just a conversation, just kind of hanging out, being in the moment, enjoying each other's time and company, and that group of women were walking by. And all of a sudden I watched the way that you just kind of said something, you flirted, you talked, and then they just walked away. And after they walked away, both of you went back to your conversation again, and there was no self-analyzation.
No.
There was no like, what did we do wrong? Should we have done this? Should we have done that? And tell me how that felt, because you didn't do that yesterday. Yesterday was more self-analyzation. So what triggered in your head to just let it go?
I think getting out of like, of course, like your comfort zone. It's such a big thing. I think when you grow up with having that, it's like hard to break away from it. It's like, for me, it's kind of like with a chisel, with a shovel, and just opening that doorway to get out. So, I mean, when we went today, the biggest thing was, I think with the flower we did with Craig. We did that, and then...
By the way, what is a flower? What's the exercise? Because not everybody knows what you're talking about right now.
It was 4 of us. We got the flower. We just practiced. We got the flower. We went to any women or any group of girls, and we said, I brought this flower today, and I wanted to give it to the most beautiful girl here, and it's you. So we did that. Once I did that, I felt like an overwhelming, kind of warm feeling. Like when I get comfortable, it's like this warm feeling starts happening from right here. It goes down like that, and once we did that, I started realizing like I don't care what happens.
So you stopped caring. The beach helped you too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
the beach helped you to stop, because on the beach we spent time on the beach that, you know, the time that we spent on the beach with you was making you go out there and build those sandcastles and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was that you stopped caring at that moment also. You had a moment where, like, I think you and I were talking in the car, in one of those moments where, you know, you were like in this very zen moment where, you know, you're in such a self-growth mode about life and about everything else, and I think you started putting women in that same way at that moment. You started putting women in the same place as you are with your career and everything else, of more like, shit, I'm just gonna be me, I'm just gonna keep growing, and I'm just gonna let life happen around me, and everything is another moment to learn, to share, to grow, and to just, you know, just to keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm. And that's what, for me, like, that's what massage therapy, in a way, is like medicine for me, because it helps me control breathing, get into my body. It's touching other people like that, but in a genuine way. So I'm glad I got that right now. So that's helping me too.
But you were so mellow over there. Over there, it was so cool. You were just two guys wearing the same hats, having a good time, you know, and that's it. And it's just, you were so mellow. And when the women walked by, I watched their body language, and the women were like, they just talked just like two cool guys. I mean, they just kept going along their way. And you didn't sit there and overanalyze, which is something you've done so much in the past, because I've got emails from you, and you're like, well, what about this, you know, not in this? And you just didn't care. You let it be. And that is huge. So now you're going to have a bunch of interactions with people. Some will be great, some will not, and you're not going to care anymore, because you found your true inner self. You found peace.
Yeah, definitely. And with those girls, I mean, the way I looked at it is she had the dog, the white dog was the dog that my sister has, and I haven't seen that dog since I got out of here from New York. So that dog just like totally like sparked up something right there.
Did you share the story that it was your sister's dog?
Yeah.
See, and then the minute you shared the story, how did they react to you?
They were smiling. They were like, really? And that's great. And then I told her how her dog, with the other dog they have, is like a brown poodle or something, and they had babies, and they came out like looking like little polar bears. Like the kids were polar bear looking. So I told them that, and they were enjoying that. They liked that.
And you described everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. You told the story, you described it, they interacted great. Now the fact is, you didn't get a phone number or anything, but it didn't matter, because you did everything once.
From here. Did it all from here.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You do it from your heart, and you speak from your heart, and then the woman gets to know you from your heart, guess what happens next? Look, I even got my love t-shirt on, right? You know, it's like you speak from your heart, and you speak from who you are, and the woman gets to know you, she goes on a date with you, guess what? She's looking forward to getting to know you. If you go and you give her some bullshit lines or pick up stuff or whatever else it is, then she expects you to be this pick up slick guy, and when you go and meet her and you start speaking from your heart, she gets all confused because you painted a false picture of who you are. So always speak from that heart and don't be nervous about it.
Hey, can I say either on this one or a different one?
Let's do another one.
Okay.